Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Spinnaker Hydrofoil Chronograph. The model number for this is the SP-5086-33. Now this is a meca quartz chronograph, the Seiko meca quartz more specifically, and this is the VK73. Now it has the screw down pushers and screw down crown. I just screwed these out so I can start the chronograph hand. So you see it ticking away there. Now looking at the dial, this is a multi-layer dial. First off, you see the tachymeter ring around the inside of the dial there, the outer ring of the dial more specifically. It does have an aluminum bezel insert. It's actually a rounded aluminum bezel insert. Got a bit of a radius to it there. So it has the date window at 10 o'clock, the dual date window there. And at 3 o'clock, you have your 24-hour indicator. And then at 6 o'clock is the running second. And then at the 9 o'clock is the elapsed minute countdown timer. So the bezel's pretty easy to turn. Does have some back play to it. And it lines up pretty well. Right there. So as I mentioned, it does have a screw down crown. It is a signed crown. I believe this is a new logo for Spinnaker. It is a N. Might be a little hard to see in this light. There we go. Also, you can see that on the case back. It's extremely large on the case back. I'm not sure why they chose the N. And speaking of the case back, this engraving is actually kind of sharp, has sharp edges. It's not going to cut you or anything. When I was wearing it on wrist, I really didn't notice the issue with it. But I did not size this from when Rob had it on, so it's a little bit loose on me. And also you can see it on the clasp here. There's the N, and then the Spinnaker on the safety clasp. So back to the dial. It is a textured dial with a Fume finish. Fume. I looked that up. I think it's French for smoke. So you can see the outer portion of the dial is darker than the inner portion. And also there is some texturing to the dial here. See with the flashlight. So it's neat that it has the textured dial and also that Fume finish. However you say that. The bracelet, I would call this an integrated bracelet. You can see how wide the lugs are here. Lugs curve down quite a bit. Not sure if you noticed from the back side, but they're pretty substantial size lugs on here. It's been a long time since I've handled a watch with an integrated bracelet. So let's stop the chronograph here. You can see the elapsed minute have passed by. That's, I think, about 3 minutes. Can't really tell on this. So let's stop that. And then when I reset, you'll see this hand will snap back. Just like a mechanical chronograph would. So this watch is 200 meter water resistant. And it does have a sapphire crystal. It is a domed sapphire crystal. I believe it's a single dome, seeing how it's distorting right there. So the other specs for this watch is the Lug To Lug Measurement. You can see it does have, I guess you can call these drilled, I mean they are drilled lug holes, but you're not going to be swapping it out for anything. I think it's just part of the look. So anyway, Lug to Lug on this is 50.5 millimeter. The diameter measured from here to here in between the pushers is 43 millimeter. The thickness on this is 14, so it is a thicker watch for sure. but it is 200 meter water resistant. And there really is, well, there is a lug width, but I did not measure that. I measured the bracelet here. So the width of the bracelet here is 23.5 millimeter, and that tapers down to 20 millimeter down here at the clasp. So speaking of the clasp and bracelet, it is a solid bracelet with, I was going to say solid end links, but I guess it's not really an end link. So it's a solid bracelet. These portions here are stamped, and then it has the milled clasp. And also something else that I noticed when I was taking a closer look at this, this does have a dive extension. You can see it in there, and I did open this up last night. It's kind of hard to do it. There we go. You should just have to have the proper technique. So it has an actual stamped dive extension. I don't know how many people are going to dive with this watch, but you do have that feature. Also, the finish on this is it's a uniform finish. It is a, almost looks like a bead blasted finish. It's not really brushed. So I think it's a bead blasted finish. Looks like the top may have been brushed and the sides may have been polished before they bead blasted it. But it feels, kind of feels like it's soft. The metal feels like it's soft. So anyway, oh, I forgot to mention it has 3 micro adjusts on the clasp here. The links are kind of big, but I think you can get it to fit your wrist. Speaking of that, let me get this on wrist and we'll do a wrist shot. And then we'll close it out with a loom shot. So here it is on my 6.5 inch wrist with the 52 millimeter wristband. And again, lug to lug on this is 50.5. I kind of have mixed feelings on chronographs now. I used to like them. I've always wanted chronographs, but for me, the functionality of this just isn't there. For me, it's very hard to see that subdial. So there we are, zoomed out on my 6.5 inch wrist. So if you could, please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Also like the video and drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think of this watch. Would you consider this a dive watch? Would you wear it diving? I'm not a diver. I think the deepest I've gone is 10 meters, and that was probably 20 years ago. So just swimming pool depth for me nowadays. All right, let's do the loom shot, and we'll be right back. All right, so on the left we have the Spinnaker Hydrofoil. Then on the right we have my SKX 171 I like to use for loom comparison. So by eye, the SKX is better. Obviously, on camera I say it's better as well. The loom is actually different colors, it looks like. Let me see. I'll hit it with the UV light again. Maybe it's not. I'm pretty sure it's different colors. Looks like the indices are more of a blue and the hands are more of a green. Maybe not. I can't tell exactly, but the loom is not that, it's not that good on this for being called a dive watch. So anyway, as always, thank you for watching and catch you on the next video.